for us because that socialization, nobody's an island, is very important. And your teachers as well, because I know there was one thing that you struggle with, calling your teachers by their first name. Remember when you come back from college, you used to gist me and like, I have to call her Sophia. I don't understand. What about Miss Edgington?
It was so hard. It was so hard.
What did you struggle with in that?
Because
As they
I'd
call it
like
their first
say,
name.
for example, if I
Yeah,
had my psychology teacher Rukia,
yeah.
I'd say Miss, and she'd be like, "It's not Miss, it's Rukia."
So that transitioning from calling Miss in secondary school and in
Yeah, to
primary
say
school
their first
to
name.
stay their first name. How long did it take you? Because I'm sure for a full
It
term,
took me
was
like
it?
a month, probably.
Did you feel were you the only one that was making that
I
mistake?
wasn't the
Or
only one. Like I didn't even know her name after. I think after a few lessons, I knew her name
yeah.
because I just like call her Miss. Everyone would call her Miss because we used to secondary school.
So how do you feel about it now? Like now you can call her by her
Yeah,
name.
it's fine.
It's fine
Yeah.
now. That was a funny one. That was a fun.
Hello and welcome to Authentic Traveling Podcast. I am your host, Abiosonia Ebenezer Marion. I am an investor in positive transformation through counseling, life coaching, speaking, and also writing books. Have you read my book yet? Inner Harmony, Resilience Beyond Chronic Stress and Burnout. This book is available on Amazon and also on my website, www.asebconsultancy.com. On this podcast, we talk about our mental health, emotional well-being, and also our holistic well-being in order for us to thrive authentically. This is a safe space for you to speak about soulful truth and talk about the things that will help you to come back to yourself and regain your self-awareness. Welcome to the Authentic Podcast once again.
On this episode, I have got with me again a guest that has been before, and she's graciously agreed to come back again. Please, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Aya, and I'm Sonia's daughter.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about transitions, right? But transition from the eyes of a Gen Z. That's what they call you guys, right? Transition from the eyes of a Gen Z. So today I am going to be asking you a few questions, and I know it's going to help, Gen Zs like you, and also it will also help parents to be able to know the best way to support their child. So we're going to take it far back as your first. I know you went to nursery, you were too young then to remember that. But I know one thing for sure that I dropped you there the second day you were already waving at me goodbye, and you just go back into the nursery and play with other children. So we're gonna start from when you went to primary school. How was that for you when you transitioned to primary school?
Primary school I would say was fine because I had most of my friends from nursery coming to the same school as me. So I
Okay,
was quite fine and I was quite young, so I made friends quite easily.
okay. So because what I hear you saying that is that because you have friends from nursery, so you already have your familiar faces that you already know
Yeah.
that helped you. Okay, so I know your time in primary school, even with those your friends was so close that they even had to split you people to different classes because you guys your bond was so strong it became a distraction at some point. So when you transitioned to secondary school, how was that for you?
I would say it's quite different from primary school because there was a lot more people and only one person from my primary school came with me to secondary school. So I'd say it was a lot more different.
So how did you manage the differences that arose for you?
Well, I mean, I knew some people because they were like friends, well, friends' children. So then I knew them.
So my friend's
And
children.
yeah, so your friends' children.
Hmm.
So I knew them. And then most of the time we just stayed together. And then after a few weeks, I would like talk to people in my classes. So I wouldn't just stick with the people that I knew, but I would talk to other people as well.
Okay. So you're right. The secondary school is bigger, where you have about 60 students in your form entry in your own school. In this school, how many were you guys in year seven? How many year seven?
Um, about 100 and something. So it was
100 and
quite a
something.
lot. Yeah.
So like how many set were they? Many set.
So we had like two different sets. So we had B2N and C2S. So B2N, those I think it was like 13 because we like split up, so I
Yeah,
barely saw like the other half. So
yeah.
like I didn't know how many was all together because you don't
So
really come to all together.
yeah. So from about 60 to like almost double, and then not even more than that. That's quite a lot, isn't it? And then you have other people as well. You have the year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot, you know. How was it for you being in primary school? You were one of the oldest, right? Because you were year 6, you are the seniors and all of that stuff. And then you're now going to year 7, where you are the youngest in the school. How was that experience for you?
It was quite scary to be honest because there was people I've never seen before.
Okay, so the scary experience, how did you manage to cope with it, navigate your way through?
I'd say I didn't cause trouble with the older ones like they do now. Um, I I would mostly say that I was with the people that I knew, or I was either in the library.
Okay, so you just hang around the faces that you knew.
Yeah.
I also remember then that we have to do bus run with you and things like that. You know, for people out there right now that are trying to get their head around the bus route and things like that, would you have any tips for them on how to cope, navigating the outside world by themselves?
Um, I'd say if there's no one who takes the same route as you, I'd say if you're on your own, you should always be aware of your surroundings
Mhm.
and that you should like plan where you're gonna where you're gonna sit on the bus, if you're gonna press the bell where. And if you're with someone you know and you're taking the same route, then you should both like don't be distracted because you could like miss your stop.
Right. That's very, very valid. A very, very valid point. And it's easily done, isn't it? You're having a gisting and all those stuff, and before you know it, the bus is already passed. Okay, did that ever happen to you?
Um
Did that ever happen to you?
I'd say only like once.
Okay,
Only once or
so
twice.
when that happened, what do you advise the person to do? Because they'll be
Well,
panicking
you
and
shouldn't
worried.
panic
Mm.
because well, hopefully you know your way around. If you don't know your way around, then you just have to use like Google Maps or something. I only missed like one stop,
So
so
when you
it's
miss when you
fine.
miss where it's supposed to press the bell, what did you do next?
So I waited for the next stop, press the bell, and then I'd get off the bus stop, and then I'd look around, see if I knew anywhere familiar, and I'd just follow those.
Right. Okay. So if you miss one bus stop because you were busy talking or for any other reason, just press the next one and get off. All you have to do is to walk back, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a matter of whether walking back, walking forward. Depends on where you are. So it's a good thing for you to master your routes.
yeah.
Don't be on your phone when you are traveling and in the bus. Don't be on because if you're on your phone, right, you do not master the key points. You don't know the routes, you don't know the houses, you don't know the prime stores or places that will help you to know your route very well. So I would say stay off your phone, learn to know where you are at, and be mindful of your environment is very, very important. Okay. So you were saying something about when you were in secondary school. A lot of people were there and things like that. You said some people look for trouble. What does that mean? The people that are looking for trouble,
I'd
what are the
say,
things that actually lead people to problems when they get to high school?
well, it's acting like you're the youngest,
Yeah.
so the older ones are going to be like looking more scarier. But sometimes the year 11s were like really nice. And then sometimes the year sevens will like caution with year 11s by acting like all tough with them, even though they've only just left primary school.
So the little ones are acting tough for these older ones. For
Yeah.
real.
They still do it now, but it's like even worse now.
Really?
Yeah,
The audacity.
I know.
That is so disrespectful. Okay, so we're saying that don't act bigger than your boots, right? You don't act bigger than your boots. Don't go winding up the older ones and things like that. But I also know
Yeah, the year 11s do annoy the year 11s.
exactly. Also know the year 11s, they are not perfect. The year 10 or the year 9, any older ones, they are not perfect. I see them on the corridor when I used to work in school, whereby they are trying to tease them like, oh, it's so small. Oh, it's so big. Oh, things like that. They are
Because like the
commenting
year
on their size.
sevens have like decreased in size drastically over the
But
years.
is that something they should be taking a make? It's
Yeah,
not fair now.
basically, yeah.
Right. So if they're taking a make at a child right now, that what would you say to them?
I mean, I'll tell them to stop.
So for a child that is going through that now, maybe they just feel like the older ones are picking on them maybe because of the size of their bag, maybe because of their height and what have you. What would you advise them to do?
I'd say, I mean, if the reason they're making fun of your bag is because it's like old or something, I'd say that you should just ignore them because, well, until you get a new bag
Yeah.
because it's not really your fault. And if they're making fun of your site, you can't really change that either. So you're just gonna have to like tell a teacher or something, or just tell them to stop, and
Mm,
eventually they'll stop.
okay. That's a good one. It takes a tough skill, isn't it? For
Hmm.
you to be able to look at someone that is taller than you and say, stop winding me up. Because sometimes they even make it even worse. But I like the point where you said you should tell the teacher, let the teacher know. And those older ones, they don't like getting in trouble. So when you tell the teacher and just let them know, they'll probably back off. And from there, and also don't take things so seriously. Learn to have a good sense of humor. And because the more they can get a reaction from you, the more they will do it. So also try not to get yourself in a pickle or make yourself visible by looking for unnecessary attention to yourself. So be very mindful. But there's another thing that I know that you were so good at. You were so good at making friends with the older ones.
Oh yeah.
I noticed that. So tell us more about that.
So the number one thing that the 11th would talk to me about is my height because I was quite tall in year seven.
Mm,
So I like blend in and they didn't think I was a year seven. So that's number one thing. And also, I didn't cause trouble. I was respectful.
mm,
And plus I knew well, I didn't know any year 11s when I was in year seven. I only knew like a year nine because of your friend.
mm.
But yeah, that's the only reason.
Okay. All right. Right. Okay. So the next question is, I know your year seven was very interesting because it was very interesting because it started in September, right? And then let's say October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months after COVID happened, lockdown, correct lockdown. How was that for you?
Well, first we started school online, so Microsoft Teams.
Mm,
And I think, well, at first everyone started showing up, but then no one was turning their cameras on. And then after a while, it would just like get less and less. And then we'd have to like lessons online, and it was just wasn't the same as you would do it like physically.
but how did that affect you?
Well, I didn't get to see my friends from school anymore.
Mm,
And I was just in the house all the time.
okay. And then we, your parents, would drop you a big bomb, shell, boom. And we're like, because of some reasons, you and your sisters are going to be homeschooled. I'm speaking to this for people that are actually going through this now, where their parents go, I want to homeschool you because of the things that is happening in the world and stuff like that. What would you say to that child that has just been told that you are going to be homeschooled henceforth?
At first you're gonna be like really annoyed and upset, but then after a while you get used to it, and then you just get used to doing school online. It's like I would say it's easier because there's no distractions. You just you.
Yeah. What did we do? What did we do that helped you to kind of adjust quickly, you and your siblings. Because I was so proud of you for that time. You adjusted so quickly. What did we do
I'd
that
say
helped?
because of lockdown, I
Mm,
was used to like being at home. And then we also like went outside to the parks, and we weren't always at home. We had like gymnastics, so we'd see like other people as well. We had swimming as well, and then we're also doing school online. So we're using this website for Oak Academy. So then we're also using that. So we just got used to it after a while because it was just like normal for us.
mm. So would you say this the structure that we created for you, because the learning we tried as much as we can to ensure that that learning was very, very practical. Like you said, we used to go out for learning. We used to go to the library. We used to go for like mini excursions.
Yeah,
Remember when we went
since the farm.
to went to the farm to see animals. Tell us more about that. How was that for you?
So I don't really like farm. I've never liked farms since I was like a kid because of the smell. It just smells really bad. And we went to the farm. We saw how milk is made. We got to see like different animals. Like what was that animal? It was like a peacock or something.
Which one?
We saw this one big animal that was like walking. It's like an ostrich, and it was an ostrich.
Oh, okay.
And we also saw some what's it called now? We saw the little chickens. Those were cool.
Yeah.
And then we would also go to like the where else did we go?
Went to the Science Museum
Yeah,
in Manchester.
went to that one.
Yeah.
Went to the aquarium. The
Mm.
aquarium was nice.
Went to the market where you did research on
Oh
that
yeah, bread.
bread. So it seems like if you want to do homeschooling for your children, make sure it's as hands-on as possible. It's as hands-on as possible, and also incorporate other social things. Like she said, they were doing gymnastics, they were doing swimming. So incorporate even dancing or football or basketball, incorporate other things that are very hands-on. If you stick the book in front of them, most of the time it is not going to help. They'll end up resenting that time with you. They will not be able to do things. So in your time, we did a lot of practical stuff. Would you say
Yeah.
that those practical stuff kind of just helped as well?
Oh yeah, we did. It was like I was back in school. We did science experiments.
Oh
I
yeah.
would do that egg one. We do English. I'll do my art stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I've been making like different things, and I'd also do bakings because I did food tech as well.
Mm. That is so true. Do you remember the egg that we
Yeah, in
left
vinegar,
in
water,
vinegar?
and
Yeah.
chlorine.
And then we did different races for different materials.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was very, very hands-on. And we did that for 2.5 years, believe it or not. 2.5 years homeschooling these children. For me as a parent, it helped me to bond with my children more. It helped me to know them a little bit deeper. It helped me to just connect with them because I've invested a lot of time teaching other people's children and doing it for my own. It was just a different level to do that, but I had to ensure that I was stimulating them, I was engaging them according to the curriculum, and we have to also take permission from the council as well. So don't just leave your children at home and say you're homeschooling. You have to let the authority know so they can give you permission. Remember, we used to have those cards,
Yeah.
permission from the council that you are homeschooling in case the police see you with me and they're like, why are you not in school? So we had those permissions. So make sure you do it in a very structured and a very legal way so you don't get yourself into trouble unnecessarily. Right. Okay. So we did that. What was the highlight of homeschooling for you?
I'd say. Well, it was kind of like I was back at school, so it was like no difference from the actual like change. But I'd say it was the trips that we
Mhm.
went on.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what did you miss about homeschooling?
What did I miss?
Yeah. What did you miss?
I'd have to get up early every morning
Yeah.
and taking the bus and rushing.
Yeah.
I just wake up and just like start school.
Mhm. Yeah, indeed. I miss that, I miss that. And then we then did another transition. We did another transition back to school. And as at then, you were year 10.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So you did only 6 months in year 7, and then we did all those other things at home. And then you then transition back to school. Now, imagine you're now year 10. Please just tell me genuinely, how was that for you?
At first I was actually quite scared because I've not been like with my age mates in the school for like 2, 3 years.
Mm,
And it's because I was meant to pick my options for my GCSEs, so I had missed picking that as well. So it was quite scary as well because I had GCSEs the next year.
mm. So it was scary. How do you think we as parents help you to manage that worry?
So you're like reassuring me and then also making sure that I was like, so while I was doing my schoolwork, I was also up to date with what I was learning in school.
Okay, so for parents that is out there now, the emotional support is very needed. You need to pay attention, check the body language because sometimes they might not talk. So you don't expect them that they will just fit in immediately. No, there will be time whereby they just need that support, constantly checking in with them. How are you getting on and all the stuff. Now, I know a lot of children, they struggle with these bits whereby they are trying their best to make friends, and that is a challenge. What is your advice or the best way to make it? Because I know we spoke extensively when you all were going back about that.
So the number one thing I was told was that you shouldn't go up to people, you should let them come to you at first. And that you should like observe how they act before you go and like so you can like pick to see who's like the best type for you.
Mm,
So It's basically just like not rushing into things. Like you should be on your own for a bit and just see how they are before you go to them.
Okay. So when you're observing these people, what qualities are you looking for in them?
Qualities that match you or your values.
Your values,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So if you see someone that the value do not match yours, what would you do?
I stay away from them. I avoid them.
Can you share some of your values?
Honesty, integrity, respect, kindness, but also having a strong like religion, you know. I'd also say perseverance as well. So like not giving up and also having like a deep spirituality.
So that's very important to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So parents, it's very important that we discuss our family values with our children, because that would then become a criteria that they will use to choose their friends. Because a friend that has a strong spiritual background and has a person has this respect, integrity, respect for themselves, respect for their family, respect for their family name, respect for their own name. They are not likely to go into things that will bring shame or disgrace to them or their family. So it's very important that you don't go about just choosing people because they chose you. You have to check, does this person compliment me? Does this person match my personality? If they don't, please, that would lead to unnecessary headache, unnecessary drama. This is why you see your children go to school in one way, and then before you know it, they are transforming in their personality, in their character, in the things that they are doing, because they are around or hanging around people that are not in alignment with their values or with the way they were brought up. So we have to be very, very guided with that. And children, your parents, they know they are helping. They just want to help you. They're not trying to control you. They're trying to help you in order for you not to get yourself into a pickle. So Ayo, right? With all of these things, so you mind the people that you chose and all the stuff. But what if you've done all of these things and there's still drama in the group? Because conflict will happen. It doesn't matter if someone has the same value as you, there will still be conflict. How did you navigate that?
I'd say speaking to the teachers and also telling your parents as well so they know what's going on. And I'd also say that you should also find out why there's a problem to begin with.
Okay, so initially you don't just run to teacher because you're falling out with your friend. I'm talking about falling out with your friend now.
Yeah.
So if you fall out with your friend, what's the first thing you would do?
You ask why they're upset. Well, if they're upset with you or why they're falling out with you.
Okay, what else?
So also like say for example like one big friend group, you'd like get all sides of the story before like having just one conclusion.
Yeah, that's one major one. The big friend group. This one said this, that one said that. Oh my goodness, it can be like a spider web sometimes. How do you guys unravel that?
Well, I say first of all, if you're gonna have like a big friend group, I say that you all get along. You're not just like one friend bringing their friend and then it's just like one big friend. No, don't do that. I'd say like you're all friends, like all mutual friends.
Right. I remember when I was in school, sometimes it used to lead to massive fight, as in whereby not necessarily scratching at one another, as in verbal argument and all of that stuff. And then before you know it, nobody's talking to anybody. And when it's lunchtime, everybody's at a different place. And before you know it, you just naturally gravitate. And then maybe a group of 6 friends, you now have two there, two there, two there. It's very uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello there. I just want to ask you a favor to subscribe, like, and share to your friends, your neighbor, your colleagues, your family, your friends, and everybody that you know. I'm really working hard to ensure that I bring useful and valuable information that will help you with your mental and emotional well-being so that you begin to thrive authentically. A lot of us will feel we have to wait until something happens before we become reactive. But with this podcast, I am trying to give you information that will make you proactive so you don't even have anything to react to in the end because you are looking after yourself properly. So what are you waiting for? If you have been listening, please like, share, comment on anything that resonates with you. This will help to drive our visibility. And also, if there is any other topic that we have discussed that has been a trigger or that you feel you need support with, please visit www.asebconsultancy.com. There is a 15 minutes free consultation link that you can click on right there and book to speak to one of our counselors. Thank you so much for helping to drive visibility to this platform. And also, if you have been listening on Apple, Spotify, Audible, and every other um, podcast platform there, please follow us and keep sharing. Thank you so much. Back to the program now.
Or you just ignore the both of them until they sort it out.
Right. Okay. And does it normally just settle down on its own?
Most of the times, yeah. Or if it doesn't, then you just like see each of them individually.
Yeah. So you're not taking side, you're just talking to this person and talking to that person. Okay, that's fine. So what about those that academically they are struggling? What would be your best advice to them? Because sometimes, in primary school you do maths, English, science,
Yeah,
and nothing is broken down, right? You do history, you do food, everything is just it's not a lot, but in secondary school you have more subjects
Yeah.
that sometimes can be very overwhelming. What would you say that can help people to navigate that?
I'd say when you're in class and you don't understand something, I say talk. Because if you don't talk, then you're not going to understand it.
Okay, so when you say talk to who?
Talk to the teacher, well, ask the teacher questions.
Mhm.
And I say go over the topic as well. And like go and try and see if you can remember everything instead of like just like going home and just like not doing that at all.
Yeah.
So you can go over at least you know it's in the back of your mind.
Okay, so revision, asking questions is very important. What about those that are really struggling to manage their homework, the workload? What would you say to them? They have loads of homework.
I say either do it during your lunchtime in the library if you have time, or just do it whenever you have like freeze, or whenever you remember to do it, just do it then.
Yeah, I remember you used to go to the library. Librarians, they knew you then.
Yeah.
You used to go to the library a lot and just quickly do your homework. And when you get home, you do some of them. That is really good. Thank you, Ayo, for sharing light. I know there are other things, but maybe if you are kind enough to honor our offer again, to come back, we might dive into things like when people are being bullied or being singled out, how to manage that and how to navigate that, because I know that's quite a lot sometimes for people to take on because they are wondering how they're going to manage this, can be overwhelming. Um, Now, in terms of students that are always getting in trouble with teachers, and you just have this teacher, you just feel like this teacher does not like me. He does not like me. What do you think is the cause of that, and how can we navigate that?
I'd say it's either because you distract the whole class,
Mm-hmm.
you're loud, you just don't listen to when they speak,
Mm,
or you're just the type that if even if you're well, for example, if you're smart and you already know everything, well, you don't know everything, but like you already know how to do the thing, you distract others, so
mm,
then they don't know how to do it.
yeah.
That's some of the reasons why teachers won't like you sometimes. Or it's because when you're doing it well, anywhere they put you, you just distract others,
Yes.
like anywhere around the room.
Yeah, of course, nobody wants someone that is distracting people in the class. So if you are being picked on by your teacher, you need to check on this. Are you being too forward? Are you a bit sly? Or are you talking a lot to your friends? Remember, there's lunch and break time. Those are the time that you should be hanging out with your friend, not when you're in the class, right? Not when you're in the class. There are some situations as well whereby some children they just find subject that they don't like. What do you think is the best way? You just don't like this subject, maybe because you don't understand it. What do you think is the best way to navigate that?
Some people might not like the subject because they don't like the teacher. Like sometimes, what was it now? I think it was like English when I was in year seven.
Yeah.
I didn't use like English because of my teacher. She was so mean to me.
Mm.
But then I ended up picking English in A levels anyways, so it wasn't really the subject, it was a teacher. But I'd
Mm.
say if you don't like the subject, then you're gonna have to learn it anyways. So, well, if it's like one of those ones where you can pick it in year nine, then I say don't pick it when you get to year nine. Or if it's the ones where, for example, maths, English, or science, I'd say that you focus on the parts that you do like because it's not like you can't like not like the whole thing. You can like not like bits of it. Like for example, in math I don't like algebra because English and maths like they're together. So
Yeah.
I'd say if you don't like that part, you can like some parts, like for example, times tables. I like times tables.
Yeah. Okay. So that's really sound advice. Thank you. So now let's go to the uniform policy, right? I know I know I allow you to wear makeup now, right? But it wasn't always like that, right? So I think you'll be a good person to speak to this because I've had people whereby we have to give them wipes, baby wipes, to wipe their face down. Year 7 doing makeup, year 8 doing makeup, even year 11 is not allowed. It's in the school policy. I don't know why people like to wear makeup to school. So for people that are already, in trouble most of the time, the teachers are giving them wipes to wipe their face. And at the end of the day, that child will be in a bad mood all through because a teacher at the gate ask you to wipe your face. Please tell us your journey about this makeup to what you think about it. And the folding of skirts, that the skirt will just be disappearing. It's like they're wearing a laptop. You'll be seeing all their lap. What is the motive? I remember then I used to say for the first stories that I don't want to hear anything. The school uniform, and then you see the colors full of makeup like umpa lumpa. Don't do that. Please tell us. Talk about your own journey. Yeah,
So when I was in year 7, none of us we didn't really used to wear makeup like
exactly.
that. The only thing we used to wear was like mascara and lip gloss or lip balm. That's the only thing.
Mascara is makeup, young lady.
Yeah, no, wait. That was like year 8 and 9. But I would say year 7, none of us wore makeup. It was like the most we wore was lip balm and lip gloss. That's all we wore. And then um once I got to Keswick, it was quite different because it's like completely different areas. So most of them have been wearing makeup since like year 7, year 6. So it was quite different seeing how because most of them once we got to like year 11 and they were told to like take the makeup. Some of them they had like reasons not want to wear it, like
Give me the reason. What's the reason of
they're
the
either
wearing?
like covering something or they like feel self-conscious without the makeup. That
Yeah,
was this one girl in my year, she was like that. So like not tell her to take her makeup off. She's because they know that she would like
it affected her confidence.
yeah.
So you see, that's the error of getting into makeup too early. When you get into makeup too early, you will build your self-confidence around that makeup. And the days that you do not have the makeup on your face, it's as if you are naked. It is not good. How did you feel when me and your dad we told you you're not allowed makeup until you're in college? How did that make you feel? And how did you manage to sustain that?
Well, I knew that it was for a reason because if I'd done it when I was in like year 7 and 8, I knew I would have like regretted every single photo that I would have taken.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like I managed it through, well, I didn't know how to put it on anyways, so it wasn't that bad.
You see, that's the dangers. For people that do it too early, you end up looking like Umpa Lumpa. I've seen people just slap the makeup on. I feel like just putting them down, like, sit down, let's spread this thing properly so that it will be even. But you didn't have that mistake because I am so happy to share that you gave me loads of makeup tips. Loads and loads of makeup tips. I even allow you to do my makeup. You enhance my makeup game because you waited your time, right? And because you waited your time, you genuinely learned how to do it properly. That I can even say I can pay for your services now. So, what do you say to for a child as the benefit of waiting? Just speak to that,
I say
please.
you get to learn it more. Like if you watch videos instead of like practicing it on your face, you're just doing it. I'd say it's better to wait than do it. So then you don't look like that bad when you go to school because you won't even realize
You
that you look like you just
realize.
think it looks nice.
So, are you glad that you waited until you were older to practice properly before you did your makeup, or do you have any regret?
No, I'm glad I waited.
You're glad you waited.
Yeah.
So you see, for children that are out there, it is so worth it. Just wait. Wait. You will do it because we gave you a specific time. We're not saying no, don't do makeup, right? Did that help you that we gave you a specific time that wait until you are in college before you do it? Did that help you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So if you are telling your children not to do makeup, perhaps give them a specific time when you're in college or when you are, just let them know so that they will know what they are waiting for. Not waiting indefinitely can be very, very frustrating. Now, there is the issue of smoking, vaping. In your time, was vaping really,
No,
was it really a big thing that time?
not
Because I
really.
think in recent time, in the few years that just passed now,
I think it was
vaping
like,
has become a big deal.
yeah, it was from like
Mhm.
2023.
Because now they even have cannabis vaping, they have weed vaping and all
Mm.
of that stuff, you know. So what do you have to say to that?
I say don't do it because in my high school in Kersley, I'd say that they knew that they were doing was wrong, and they still did it, but they couldn't stop. That's the thing, because it was like an addiction for them. Like they couldn't stop it, even if they wanted to stop, they couldn't stop. So I'd say don't get into it because they started since they were like since year 7, and they've been doing it since year 11. So it's kind of hard for them to like stop because it's like a normal habit for them. Like they just wake up and start doing it.
So it's become like an addiction to them, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh my word. That's really troubling. Did anybody ever offer you, and for example, a child now, if someone walk up to them, how would you avoid that? I don't want to smoke.
I say no, thank you.
What if they keep offering it?
I just say no. I don't want their disgusting germs in my mouth.
Hmm. And does that not even say that the person does not have the same value as you? Because if you are not a smoker, what would you do if someone in your friend group started smoking?
I cut them off. I stop being friends. I'll try and get them to stop at first to see if they actually listen. If they don't listen, then that's a no, and I won't be friends with them anymore.
Did that ever happen?
Uh,
Did that ever happen?
it happened like once, but
Yeah.
then the thing is, they were like, "Oh, it's I'm not addicted to it. I only
Mm.
do it like once in a while."
Yeah.
But then after a while, I noticed that they started doing it a lot and a lot, so I just stopped being friends with them.
Mm. Wow. It takes a lot of self-confidence for you to be able to cut off with someone that you call a friend because of their bad habits. Because at the end of the day, we are not saviors. We don't have the power to save everybody. People need to save themselves because you see, this is the danger that a lot of people feel. They say, "Oh, this person has been my friend. I'm trying to save them." At the end of the day, you're trying to save them. They will end up dragging you into their own end, and then who is going to come and save you? You know, smoking is not good for your health. It damages the liver. It brings brown teeth. It damages the lungs. It brings a lot of heart conditions and is absolutely a stinking, disgusting habit. So you don't want to go into that. Please listen to your parents, even in drinking and all of that stuff. You know, in drinking, how was it? Did people drink in your prom?
Only one girl brought it in like what she brought in this weird bottle. It
Mm.
wasn't like in the bottle, but it was in a hand sanitizer bottle. So then they wouldn't realize.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my word. What was she doing with it? Was she giving that to people?
She was just drinking it. And then she was like, "Oh, do you want some?" No.
Wow. Well, how come you hate drinking?
Pardon?
How come you hate drinking?
Oh, because it just makes you do things that you know you're gonna regret. So there's no point.
Yeah. It's good to make decisions with your clear eyes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes some people get abused when they drink like that. They don't even remember. They pass out, drink themselves to a stupor, pass out, and then anything could happen. And then you end up, pay the consequences. Might get infected with STDs, and you might get pregnant as well if care is not taken because maybe you passed out. So we have to be really careful that we do not hang out with people that are doing things that we don't want to do by ourselves. Now, I'm going to ask you in prom. I know prom is another transition stage. Some people get into debt because they want their parents to buy this dress of 1,000 pounds. They want to buy this shoe. They want to buy these designers. I was so blessed to call you my daughter. I know. Let me just tell you this now. I was in a conference. I was telling everybody, my daughter, thank God, my daughter's prom did not break the bank because you know your mother. I will not give you that money. So, how did you organize yourself for prom? For someone that they're going to be doing their prom next year, what's the best advice that you can give? Because I know yours was just so effortless for me,
I'd
and
say
thank you for that.
start picking your dress at the start of year 11, so then you have it, and it's because if you do it before, it's like on sale, so then you can get it for a cheaper price.
Hmm.
And then also plan the hairstyle you're gonna do and how you're gonna do your makeup ahead of time, Because if you don't, then you're just rushing like the week before, and it's just gonna be like too much, and then you're just gonna be like, stressed.
Okay.
And then I'd also say, well, if you get like a group car, I say plan it ahead. I didn't really need a group car because the car we had was nice enough. So
Yeah. Okay. So we didn't break the bank. So for people out there, you don't have to break the bank to get on a prom, right? Even your dress, you chose it by yourself, and the price was very affordable. We're gonna do this where people, you have to buy designers and you have to buy designer shoe. You don't have to break the bank for prom. Go according to your own budget. I hear parents saying, "Oh, my daughter wanted these designers," but I'm like, how many designers bag do I even own? So in a way, parents, we have to inculcate into our children, what we can afford and what we cannot afford, so that we do not set expectations that they cannot maintain, or that will lead them into a wide lifestyle to be able to maintain this fake um lifestyle that they've created for themselves in order for them to be able to manage it. So prom, now we're going to go to college. How have you been able to manage your transition to college? Oh, wait, before we go to college, during the I know during GCSE time is very intense. How did you manage that?
I'd say don't revise like the week before. Just like keep revising. What once you start year 11, you just like just revising small. So then it's not like a massive amount of pressure on you when you're doing your exams.
Mm. So building it up brick by brick is
Yeah.
better rather than rushing it.
Yeah.
Are there other things that we did that helped you during your planning for your GCSE as well? I think parents can take on board.
I had to put like my job on hold for a bit, and they understood because it was my GCSEs. So I had to put things on hold for my GCSE. Oh, and I had like tutoring for my tests.
Mhm. What else? What did we do as parents to help you?
Yeah, you paid for my tutoring.
What else?
You also helped me. Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Aha.
When I was revising, they would help me like with the chores around the house.
So you were off the shore duty. Hey, I loved it. Hey, so if your child is preparing for GCSE, it's not the time that you say you must do your chores. Just help them during that season. Let them be on leave. Let them rest. So that is less things on their mind to think about. Let them be, please allow them to be off their chores. And after GCSE, they are going to stay at home for a long time. And then I know you really milk Fisher. You love it. You love that your options. Let them be off their shores. Help them and things like that. Well, the emotional support. Oh, how did that go for you?
Um, I mean, my parents and my teachers were there, so it was like help if I needed any help, for example.
Mm,
Like for during my maths exams, the maths was like the subject that I really struggled with because I just didn't get it, but I ended up passing, so it was fine.
yeah. So for anybody that is struggling with any subject now, what would you say to them that can help them, especially for GCSE?
I'd say ask your teachers for past questions.
Mhm.
Ask anyone you know that's like really good at the subject to like
Yeah,
help you and explain it because you might be able to explain it more with someone your age telling you.
yeah.
And also like revise that subject, or you can ask your parents for like tutoring with that certain subjects.
Mm. So it helps as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ayo. Now we're going to move to college, right? I know you went to college. That went so fast. How did you manage to transition to college well?
Well, I would say that I had my friend group, but I didn't really have my friend group because I was the only one like doing that course,
Yeah.
and most of them like moved to different colleges.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that on the induction day, I spoke to this one girl, and we've been friends ever since.
Mm.
Um, I also say speak to people like in your classes, so then you have someone like you can talk to like in each of your classes. And then I'd also say go to the library a lot
Mm.
in first year.
Yeah. So you said, what about people that are really, really, they struggle to making friends? What would you say to them?
I'd say after like the first week, I'd say maybe what you can like observe people, but then I'd also say in your class if you're sat next to someone, you can just speak to them.
Mm, mm. So that makes it easier, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rather than going walking up to a group of people that you don't really know. So it's better to form that little chat inside the classroom.
yeah.
And then maybe the person will see you during lunchtime. They might then talk to you that, hey, hi, how are you doing? Do you want to join us for lunch and things like that? Because for me, and I know making friends is easy for you. I know that one. You go out friends here in the year above you. Because when we go to town, I see people like saying, I'm like, eh, I don't understand. You're not getting more popular. And later you say it's me. And I can't walk with me on the streets without one or two persons saying hi. But when we go to town, I begin to see people say, hey, how are you? And you're like, no, that was lovely to see that you were beginning to make friends, you're beginning to know more people and things like that. It's very good for us because that socialization, nobody's an island, is very important. And your teachers as well, because I know there was one thing that you struggle with, calling your teachers by their first name. Remember when you come back from college, you used to gist me and like, I have to call her Sophia. I don't understand. What about Miss Edgington?
It was so hard. It was so hard.
What did you struggle with in that?
Because
As they
I'd
call it
like
their first
say,
name.
for example, if I
Yeah,
had my psychology teacher Rukia,
yeah.
I'd say Miss, and she'd be like, "It's not Miss, it's Rukia."
So that transitioning from calling Miss in secondary school and in
Yeah, to
primary
say
school
their first
to
name.
stay their first name. How long did it take you? Because I'm sure for a full
It
term,
took me like a month, probably.
did you feel were you the only one that was making that
I
mistake
wasn't the
or
only one. Like I didn't even know her name after. I think after a few lessons, I knew her name
yeah.
because I just like call her Miss. Everyone would call her Miss because we used to secondary school.
So how do you feel about it now? Like now you can call her by her
Yeah,
name.
it's fine.
It's fine
Yeah.
now. That was a funny one. That was a funny one. You trying to, adjust to calling them by their name. It was a really funny one, right? Ayo, thank you so much for helping us to navigate. And another thing again, in college, you guys just have only three subjects to do, you know. How is that for you? Because even though it's three, I know it's quite a lot of work.
It is a lot.
Yeah. How are you navigating that?
Well, I do all essay-based subjects, so I have to like, well, with English, there's no right or wrong answer, but you have to like know quotations and everything.
Hmm.
Law, you have to like remember laws that were like set. And
Mm,
then psychology, you just have 60 markers, you
mm,
have experiment studies to remember. You have to know the AO1s and everything. You have to know definitions. Um, and psychology is like a mix of like biology and
mm.
it's like a science. So it's like that. So I'd say in first year, after like the introductions are done, I'd say you should go to the library a lot and like go over the PowerPoints like because it should be on like I don't know if you guys have
Like
it.
a model,
Yeah, it should be
musically
on that.
model. Yeah.
You should go onto that and like go over it and see if you like know everything.
Mm.
So then when it comes to, like the mocks, so you have like end of year mocks, you'll be fine. And you just need to be like revising the stuff that you need to remember before you go in.
Yeah, I know you have very great. Thank you so much. One thing I noticed there is like know the requirement to pass your subject
Yeah.
and make sure you get yourself acquainted with it by practicing over and over again. I know you have a great relationship with your tutors because I know you even send them email at the beginning of the session and stuff like that. How are you able to build a great relationship with your tutors?
So I'd say because in college I just taught more because it's like there's a small amount of people and plus we're
Mm.
in college and I've started high
Yeah.
school. So I'd be able to like talk more in the class and
Hmm.
like ask questions.
Yeah.
And then also I'd be able to like stay behind the lesson because I see them around college or I see
Yeah.
them like if I'm on lunch, I'd see them like walking on the road, I'd be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that.
Okay. So they said if you want people to be friendly to you, also make yourself friendly.
Yeah.
That's what you've ended up doing. And I remember there was one thing that you did during Christmas. I was so proud of you. Right. So for example, every when you're in primary school, secondary school, I do it for all of you. At the end of the year, I always make sure I send a card and a chocolate or flowers or cup or a bag printed with the teacher's name. Anything. Doesn't have to be expensive. I will make sure I send it to your class teachers every every end of year. I always do that. Then for celebrations like Easter and things like that, I also send like maybe a card or something to them. Happy Easter if they are Christians. So, what did you do from that? Tell me what you did in December. I want you to share it.
I went to the shops and I got these teacher mugs for a few of my teachers and I put chocolates inside of them.
How did that make them? How did they react to you when you did that to them?
They were all quite happy. Sophie almost cried. Raquel was very thankful because it was her birthday as well that day.
Oh.
And then John still talks about it to this day. And then he's saying on my results day he's hoping he gets something bigger.
Oh, that is so good. The things that they say our children do more of what we do than what we say. It is so true. What you model in front of your children is what they will take. We have to, if you want your children to learn how to build good rapport with their teachers, with their tutor, we also have to build good rapport with those teachers when we are picking them up, when we are dropping them off, and celebrate them as well, because these people are with their children 7 to 8 hours a day, right? For 6 weeks, 8 weeks, sometimes, or 7 weeks. Now we have to also appreciate them, because when you do that, your children are watching. I didn't tell Ayo to do that. She just knew that she had to appreciate her tutors at the end of the year, and that was warmly received by the teacher. These are the ways that will build good foundation. For parents that is worried that their child will not settle down in school, they are really, really worried. What would you say to that parent right now?
I say you shouldn't worry because in college it's like more mature. So it's like no one's doing any of that like whole bullying thing or no one's making fun of each other because you're all going to be new. And plus
Okay.
the second year is like focusing on the A levels anyways. So
What about those in secondary school?
in secondary school, I'd say that you shouldn't worry because 9 times out of 10 they're going to make friends by like the end of the month. So we'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Is there any last word? I know last time when you came, I asked you, what are the things that you do for your self-care? Your self-care. I know you are the queen of self-care. You know how to look after yourself, you this child. So please tell us more. What are the other things that you do for your self-care?
I go to the gym.
You said that before. What else do you do?
I also manage my schoolwork so that I'm not just like doing my schoolwork all the time.
Okay, I that's self-care now.
That's because
How do you look after
self-care
yourself?
school can be stressful sometimes.
Oh, so you mean
finish
you
it.
so you do it on time,
I
so you're
manage
not
my
stressed.
relaxing and my schoolwork.
Oh, you just taught me something now. That's self-care as well. The way you manage yourself, manage your schoolwork can be self-care. So you don't leave anything last minute. If you leave it last minute, you're gonna be rushing and you'll be stressed. I get it. I get it. Thank you for teaching me that. So what else? What else do you do? You sleep. So you're not gonna mention sleep.
I said it before. I also sleep enough. What else I do?
Tina is always laughing. You have a good laugh, you. So you're not going to say that too.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be saying all your stuff for
I
you.
laugh at everything. I laugh at anything for,
What does that do for you? This is your laughing.
it keeps me happy. Like I'm always smiling.
Yeah, I know. I know you are. Okay. Do you have any other final word you want to say before we go today? I've really enjoyed this chat with you, right? And I've had good feedback from the first one that you did. And I know that you put your heart into this to get yourself out there and just share these things from your heart. Any final word before we wrap it up?
I say to the year sevens, you shouldn't act bigger than your boots and that you shouldn't be scared. And the first years of college that you should focus on what you're doing and your subjects.
Mm.
And you should know like what you want to do before you pick those subjects. So then you're not just like dropping out and starting a new course because then you're gonna be behind when you're meant to be going to uni.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Right. Thank you so much for listening to us again on Authentic Thriving Podcast. I've been your host, Abia Sonia. And thank you very, very much, Ayo, for sharing from your wealth of wisdom. And I hope you graciously come back again. If there is any topic that will feel like you can help us get into the Gen Z's mind again, I hope you would gladly want to come back again. I hope you don't mind, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of your time. Until I come your way again, bye for now.